'cause I know that it's something real. Gonna say how I feel, 'cause I know that it's something real. Hey, hey. Gonna say how I feel, 'cause I know that it's something real.
Hi, you guys. How is everybody? Yeah, that wasn't a mistake at the end there on that last couple of that film clip, because that one film clip with the waves was where we used to live in Edmonds, and that was the alarm going off on our pumps and everything because the storm was so great that it was coming over the bulkhead and into the patio of the condos that we lived in. And then we had the firemen and everybody down there trying to get the pumps going and everything. And out in the distance on that picture, if I can go back, I'll go back and see if I can get it back and make it muted. Oops. Go back. Yeah, that little video on the side there is when I took when we lived in the condos there. We were renting a condo there, and that was quite the storm. Man, it was nuts. What? Okay, Bobby, I can't sit up that straight. Okay, that's better. Here we go. Oh, yay. So let's check in. Can you tell I'm a little scattered today? Okay, we got such a wins here. Okay, and Dawn is, oh my gosh, we got a crew and a half tonight. I saw Janice is here, and I saw that Julie E's here. Hi, Julie. Hi, Janice. And hi, Joanne and Angie and Gail. To get to chat with y'all, I watch every night, but later, after my mom goes to bed, and I miss out on so much. Oh, and Gail always leaves me the sweetest comments afterwards, little messages, and it's just, oh my gosh. Aldo reminds me of my Mufasa. Yeah, Aldo is something else. He is long-haired Chihuahua and Jack Russell, little rescue guy, and oh my gosh. Oh, good. You just emailed it to me just now. Hot diggity. Okay. Let me just do something because she just, see if I can get this open. Just emailed it. From Joanne, was it? No. I just emailed you what I was working on now on my most recent paintings. It hasn't come through it on yet. If you send it to Images by Gretchen, I'm not seeing it right here. Oh, fiddle dee. And I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so it's probably not going to come through there. Maybe it will. Okay. Well, I'll find it later because if I don't make it into tonight's show, I'll put it in tomorrow night's because I have them. A bunch that I got. I was going to ask people about that because I got some in tonight to show and I wanted to double check who I might have missed. I went back through everything. So Nathan's here and Deirdre, Angie and Gail and Jack and Joanne and Donna and Gloria is here. Oh my goodness. It is great to have everybody here. Whoa. So today is National Walk Your Dog Day or Walk a Dog Day. And I tell you, we took Aldo out this morning, and if you saw my short, or yeah, I did a little short, it was cold. It is, it was bright sun, but we've had a north wind come in, and it was the wind with the wind chill. It was 23 degrees. So he had a little sweater on, and then he had his what we call his super coat, and he was happy running around in the wind. And we didn't go more than a mile today. We just went for our mile walk, and that was it. And then this afternoon, I was sitting upstairs working on some stuff. I looked up, and there were snow flurries coming across the deck. But there was still sunshine. And my sister's this morning, about 40 minutes away in Gig Harbor, she had sunshine and snow at the same time. Mother Nature gets a wee bit confused up here in the Northwest at this time of year. It's like she cannot decide. The crocuses are up, some kind of a little purple baby iris or a little miniature iris popped up, and my rhododendrons, some of them are getting ready to pop. My early rhododendrons are like, yay! And then, bam, cold snap. Woof. So, who knows what's going on. Let's check in what everybody's saying here. Gosh, everybody's gotten in there. I was watching, did you see the Mazzy Boys? Big giant piece of wood that they did with coal. Oh my gosh, that was cool. It's funny though, the piece that I bought from Lee is like a miniature of the one that they did today. I mean, seriously, I thought, okay, they just embiggened the one that's hanging on my wall practically. It's so funny. And so I've got stuff. Yeah, Joanne, I wish I'd seen this earlier that you'd emailed what you're working on now and your most recent paintings. Could you tell me if you emailed it to imagesbygretchen@icloud.com? I think you might have, but I went through and Deirdre said she had emailed me something and I couldn't find anything but the ones that she had done before too. So I'm going to have to hunt. Rough commute. You like that? Yeah, yes, rough commute is right. It's gonna go with everything. And Donna's here too. Yay! Hi Donna, I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I was today I had physical therapy, but I also I watched you guys, she's a fluid artist, Arissa Rue. I think it's Arissa Rue, yeah. Yes. Anyway, she had some really beautiful pieces that she does. She's kind of fun to watch. And she had an idea for a bloom recipe that didn't have some of the odor stuff in it and didn't need Australian Floetrol and stuff. And since Layla's coming over later this week because she's on midwinter break, I went off to Ace Hardware to find some of that stuff. Angie and Trudy, Angie's dog, yes. Yay, okay, so everybody's Jack's here. Hi, Jack. Nice to have you here. So, well, since people are kind of lurking in, before we start the story, I'm going to hop in with this first. And it's a story from Nathan about me. Yeah, seriously, Nathan decided I needed a story. And so here it is. Gretchen and her 3 freckle-faced sisters. Let's see if I can get it up where I can. Oops, what happened? Oh, gee. Nope. I should have just let it do what it was going to do. Okay, now I'm back to where my... Here, let's go back to something else while I get that back. You don't need to watch my daughter's picture that they gave me years ago. Okay, here we go. Where did it go? Nathan, right there it is. Oh. Okay, so Gretchen and her 3 freckled-faced sisters loved to play together. They played together every single day, but they were more than just sisters. They were best friends. Gretchen was the youngest of the 4, so of course she got into the most mischief. One day Gretchen said, I'm going to climb the tree and hang upside down. Gretchen's oldest sister was very protective. Gosh, you know Patty. And said, oh, please be careful, Gretchen. Gretchen replied, I'm a monkey. I can hang here all day. Ooh, 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 ah, ah. All 4 girls were laughing and giggling. One sister was swinging on the swing. Eewee! Was going higher and higher while her other sister, using a stick for a microphone, was singing, while the other sister stuck up. Oh, we're singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Close. That's a little after our time. And that they were having so much fun that they didn't notice their daddy coming up the hill. Oh, when he got close enough, he yelled, Gretchen, you get down from there. What have I told you about being ladylike? It's not ladylike to show the world your knickers. Gretchen didn't think she was doing anything wrong because all she was doing was having fun. But she always listened to her daddy. Really? And got down. Even though Gretchen got in trouble, the next day the girls went back to the tree. Of course, Gretchen climbed up again, hung like a monkey, and all 4 girls sang, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Ethan, thank you. That's so cute. Look. Oh my gosh. Okay, you gave my dad red hair, which is pretty funny because it's pretty funny. Dad had black hair, like black. Yeah, but it was curly. Mom was blue-eyed blonde, and somehow the combination of the two of them with genes and whatnot that were recessive ended up with these. Patty's a total redhead. Carolyn is kind of blondie brown hair. Sarah has brown auburn, and I had the blonde red. Just as funny as I'll get out, but that was us. But yep, that's pretty fun. So the next thing I have to share is some of your pictures. So I'm hopping. The first one we have is Nathan, the fine art of distraction. So Nathan did the neurographic art, and in that he did one of them to look more 3D. He said he used his iPad to do some, and he put them on one of his pourings. Nathan, if you have anything to add to that about it, put it in the chat. Any more description? Because if I go to try to find your email, I'll lose everybody again because I'm not quite that good with everything. I just wanted to bring these in. I thought they were so cool. Yeah. Really nice. Let's see. Let's do this. What's going on? Hold it. I muted something. Didn't I mute something? Nope, nothing's muted. All right. Let me see. Could you guys hear the applause? I don't know. Where am I on this? I can't hear anything. Oh, stop. Mm, there we go. There we go. I bet. Now let's try this again. See? I couldn't hear it. I had fixed it so that it would work, but then I couldn't hear it. So I'm like doing it again and again, probably bugging your ears like crazy. So there's Nathan's. I think that's pretty awesome. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. Uh, checking down here. Oh, you know what? You guys send things to me and just get them out, and I'll add things in. The possible snow on Thursday. What? I know. We had snow today. Julie, what is the craziness with all this? It's coming down from the Fraser River Valley, and it's really cold up north. God, I don't know. Helen, I didn't see Helen on, and she's up on Whidbey Island, and lots of the, which is officially part of the San Juan Islands. Not as far up as some of them, but a lot of the San Juan Islands were out of power last night and today. So, it wasn't an assignment to had to get done. There's not a time limit. Okay, so we got Nathan's. Let me go badoop. And there's Jack's. So Jack sent me this the morning after we did this, or that night, and then Ted told me that he had done a video on it, and I hopped on and saw the video that he produced and posted on YouTube. So cool to see how he'd done this. It's really interesting because Jack had used, I think I mentioned this last night, this neurographic art as an art therapy form after an injury, and he'd forgotten about it, but was aware of it. I thought that was very cool. Yay! Oh, and now here's Angie's. Angie had sent 3 little things because she had her dragons, so I put them all together. This was her neurographic, but she's in the email. Angie, you said encaustic. Did you do encaustic wax on this? I didn't. I don't know. And then 2 of her Sumei dragons that she has done after doing with the Sumei ink and on that paper. I thought that was very cool. I love this. I love this. It's very cool. Yay! Oh, and there's Gloria's, her cat. Her cat. I had not gotten a chance to show you guys her cat. That was just too much fun. Yep. I thought after I read Louise Loves Art, and we did that art thing about drawing the cat that like Kelly Light does, the artist and author of that book. Good job, Gloria. And there's mine. I did of the neurographic. I did this one yesterday at Tarts when I was with the artist, and then finished it off today. I used marker. It's a very paintbrush marker, a paint marker, and then the tan or kind of grayish tan colors are a blendable gray marker set that I have that has like a whole bunch of different shades of gray in it, and it's kind of fun to do. And then, just because I couldn't help the cuteness on this, has nothing to do with it, but couldn't resist the cuteness. That's my granddaughter, Rory, who's is nicknamed after me, Goo, and with her Auntie Anna, my son-in-law's sister, who is a fiber artist, and Rory is being introduced to a little Angora lamb on their farm. She had a lot of fun playing with them. My older 2 grandkids, her older brother and sister, McLean especially, Bryn and Danny used to have a grass-fed meat farm, and they had sheep and goats and chickens and cattle and all kinds of animals running around all over the place. So they were very much farm kids. So Rory doesn't quite get that as much, and Rook hasn't had it quite as much. So they go out to Anna's, and Anna has all my mom's old weaving things. Because that's what she does. She's a fiber artist and does beautiful work, and so none of my nieces and nephews were going that direction. So I passed on all of mom's weaving books plus my mom's 36-inch Pendleton loom to Anna, and she uses them. And her daughter Elsie, who's the same age as McLean, Little just had his birthday. Elsie is learning to weave too, and it's pretty fun to see. But isn't that cute? I just couldn't resist the cuteness. Yay! Yay! Where's the little little cuteness there? Anyway, today for the book, I have a book for you called Salty Dog. Now, this book is actually based around a true story. And I read Knots on a Counting Rope not too long ago. And it was illustrated by Ted Rand. Remember the grandfather and the grandson, the little boy that was blind, and the Native American story about reading again. The illustrations were done by Ted Rand. And the book was by Bill Martin Jr. This book is by Gloria Rand, Ted's wife, and illustrated by Ted Rand. Ted passed away in 2005 at the age of 89, and Gloria passed away in 2020. He was born and raised on, there was my heat again, Mercer Island. So if you know Seattle at all, you know that the west side of Seattle is, on the west side is Puget Sound, and on the east side of Seattle is Lake Washington. And then if you go to the across the lake, you end up at Bellevue. But as you're crossing Lake Washington, there is an island there, and that is Mercer Island. And it has been there for ages. Used to be a kind of like a, back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, would have been a community that would have been a cabin community where a vacation home type kind of thing. Where now it's not so much that. It's a very, nice place to live. But Ted Rand was born on Mercer Island, and he and Gloria lived there until, well, she still lived there when she passed away in 2020. Their whole lives were from Seattle. He taught classes at the UW, all kinds of things, just a real part of it. But this story for Walk Your Dog Day is based on a true event. And Ted, the illustrations are done in a combination of traditional watercolor, I think he says right here, and let's make a noise there. Traditional watercolor and liquid watercolor, and they're based on careful research. He visited 4 boat yards in the Northwest, and in 2 of them found boats of the same design as Zach's character in the book, in different stages of construction, making it possible to see step by step the actual building. The model used for Salty is Spike, an Australian cattle dog who belonged to Ted and Gloria Rand's son, Martin. Gloria this was her first debut into children's picture book with Salty Dog, and Salty became so popular, there's a series of about 4 books on this. It was inspired by a real dog who did what we're going to hear about in this book. I'm not going to tell you now. So are you ready for this story? Let's see how everybody's checked in and what we've got here. Yes. Thumbs up, ever. Thank you. I'm filming ATM, so I'm lurking in the background. I'm doing a resin video. Oh, nice. A resin video. My goodness. Yep. Not something I've quite attempted yet. I should have resined Layla's tiles instead of what I did, but they were fine. Okay. All right. So we've got everybody checked in, coloring your molds with pigments, hence why I lurk. Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. It's snowing here, but not. Oh, hi, there's Helen. It's not sticking. She's got snow. Yep. Yep. It's been on and off down here too. We had some very strange. So you still have power then, Helen. That's good because a lot of the San Juans lost power. Here too, expecting snow here in the desert Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Like I said, Mother Nature is really confused or really hormonal right now. The bottom of our island got 12 inches. What? That's nuts. That's nuts for the island to get 12 inches. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Oh, okay. I resent to iCloud. Okay, I'll get those for tomorrow night. I'll have those all. Anything that you guys send me on from today on, I got them. I spent some time putting them together, and then so I'll get those on tomorrow night. We'll have something else to applaud for. Yay! All right. Yes. Okay, just checked in. Everybody's got there, so ready for the story. Yes, I know. Isn't it a cute story? And I've got to get everybody's to send. I have a checklist. You know the trick with a checklist is you actually have to sit down and do it. You can't just look at the checklist and say, "Oh, I put it on the checklist, so it's done." Nah. Why doesn't that happen? Why can't you just put it on the checklist and have it be done? Okay, here we go. My own, all those galaxies are your own pores. All right, here we go. Salty Dog by Gloria Rand, illustrated by Ted Rand. Best wishes, Ted Rand and Gloria Rand. See, doesn't the dog even look like my little Aldo? Yeah, kind of has that look, little fox face look. Just cracked me up. Hi there, Zach. How's the boat builder? Asked the ferry boat ticker taker. Great, I've got the keel laid, answered Zach. At the sound of Zach's voice, a puppy poked his nose out of Zach's parka pocket. Here's my new dog, Salty, smiled Zach. I'm hoping he'll turn into a deep-sea sailor, you know, a real salty dog. A dog? Exclaimed the ticket taker. Wouldn't a cat be a better sailor? Could be, maybe, Zach answered, but I'd rather have a salty dog crew for me any day. Check something. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Just checking. Well, okay, said the ticket taker, patting Salty's fuzzy head. He should meet the captain. Go on up to the wheelhouse. The captain was pleased to see Salty. Needs to know my engineer. Take him below to the boiler room, commanded the captain, handing Salty over to the first mate. Now, back then when this book was written, there were still times where you could go up to the ferry boat captain, and they would sometimes take you up, and the ferry boat captain would take you up there for your birthday or for whatever, or little kids and stuff. In fact, for my birthday, we were still living in Edmonds, and I can't remember, maybe it was probably my 55th birthday or something like that. Anyway, we took a ferry ride. We were had gone over to get something and coming back, and the ferry boat captain was a woman, and because it was my birthday, she invited me to come on up, and we have pictures of us sitting behind the wheel and stuff, so it was fun. They don't let you do that anymore. The captain was pleased to see Salty. Needs to know my engineer. Take him below to the boiler room, commanded the captain, handing Salty over to the first mate. The engineer liked Salty so much, he introduced him to the oiler and all the deckhands. Salty has to go topside. Cook's up there, one of the deckhands said, tucking Salty under his arm and heading for the galley on the passenger deck. What have we here? Asked the cook. I've something just for you, she said, giving Salty a little treat. Salty made a lot of friends in just one ferry boat ride. When the ferry docked, Zach, with Salty back in his parka pocket, walked a short distance to the boatyard. There, Zach found a small cardboard box. He put shredded newspaper and soft wood shavings into the box. He also put in a blue dish filled with water and a red dish filled with puppy food. I'll be too busy building the boat to watch out for you today, Zach explained as he lifted Salty into the box. There's lots of dangerous places and things around the boatyard. That could mean trouble for a nosy puppy. You're much better off in here. Salty didn't mind being in the box at all. He played with the shredded paper and the wood shavings. He ate his puppy food. He lapped up lots of water, and he took naps. If you, just as an aside, if you ever come to Seattle, you should go to the Wooden Boat Museum and the Wooden Boat Yard, and you can watch people actually making boats like this. There's one here too in Gig Harbor, but the one in downtown Seattle, whoo-hoo. Weeks went by. The keel was laid and the boat framed, planked and caulked. As the boat grew, Salty grew, and the boxes grew. Where is Salty? There he is. Oh, look, they've got it raining outside. And how the weather changes in the windows. The weeks turned into months. Decking was put down and a cabin built. The boat had grown and Salty had grown. No cardboard box was big enough to hold Salty anymore. So Salty was left at home alone all day. He had food and water, a snug doghouse and a large fenced yard, but he did not have Zach close by. One day, Salty decided to find Zach. He dug out under the fence and with dirty paws and a dirty face ran to the dock. The ferry boat was about to leave. Salty raced aboard. When the boat docked, Salty dashed ashore and off to the boatyard as fast as he could go. Zach couldn't believe his eyes. He picked Salty up and hugged him. How did you get here? Salty just licked Zach's face. I want you close by and quiet, Zach told Salty. After a while, Salty started to snoop around. Zach pointed toward the ferry dock. Go home now, Salty. Salty laid down. His ears drooped. I mean it, Salty. Go, Zach said sternly. Salty didn't want to leave, but he got up and he slowly made his way back to the dock. He waited patiently for the ferry boat, and when it arrived, Salty went aboard and rowed back home. Salty visited Zach every day. When it was sunny and warm, he rode up on the bow of the ferry's car deck, watching seagulls and passing boats. When it was raining and cold, he would sneak into the boiler room and sit by a warm engine, never bothering the busy engineer. When he wanted a little something to eat, he sat outside the galley door. When he felt important, he rode in the wheelhouse with the captain. When he felt frisky, he tried to help the deckhands keep the ferryboat shipshape. At the boatyard, he made no trouble. He learned to help Zach, fetching tools and serving as official guard dog. Soon it was time to launch the sailboat. It was an important and exciting day. The boat was lowered into the water and towed to the marina. Next came stocking and outfitting the sailboat. Salty waited outside the sailmaker's loft, where Zack picked up the finished sails. He waited outside a store called The Navigator, where Zack bought a compass, a sextant, and charts. He waited outside the sporting goods store, where Zack purchased rods and reels and line for ocean fishing. He waited outside the supermarket, where Zack stocked up on canned and dried and powdered foods. But at the ship's supply store, where Zack got flags, lanterns, lines, fittings, and foul weather gear to wear on wet, stormy days, Salty didn't wait outside. "I have a surprise for you, Salty," Zack explained, holding open the store's front door. Salty was fitted for a life vest. "In case you fall overboard, I want to be sure you stay afloat until I swing back to pick you up," Zack told him. "We'll get you a safety harness just like mine for when there's a bad storm at sea. And if you get washed overboard, you'll be tied to the boat, and I'll haul in on the line and get you safely back on deck." The boat was finished and ready for its shakedown cruise. Sails were rigged, fittings in place, all supplies aboard and stowed away. The day of the shakedown was wet and windy, a perfect testing day. Zack told Salty that they would sail out into the bay, check the compass, be certain the boat was watertight, try all the sails, and make sure the fittings and equipment were secure and working well. They would also find out what kind of a sailor Salty would be. All was shipshape, and Salty proved himself to be a very good sailor. He loved the rough water, the cold wind, and the bouncy boat. "You're smart, and you're going to be a great crew." A few days later, with sunny skies and a perfect light breeze, Zack and Salty set sail. Their friends crowded onto the dock, all cheering and waving. A flotilla of small boats, filled with more cheering and waving people, escorted them out into the bay, where the local fireboat was sending up arcs of spray in a watery plume. Sitting just offshore was the ferryboat. Salty barked his excitement, and Zack laughed. Says, "Have a good trip, Zack and Salty Dog." As they sailed past the ferry blew its whistle over and over again. The captain and first mate waved from the pilot house. The cook waved from the galley porthole. The engineer and the oiler had come up from the boiler room and waved from the bow. And the ticket taker waved from the bridge. And all the deckhands held up a big banner across the deck that read, "Have a good trip, Zack and Salty Dog." And Salty stood at attention. He was on his way around the world. And that's the story of Salty Dog. Isn't that cool? I love that book. I love the illustrations. I look at this and I keep trying to figure out which fairy that would have been, because that's a small one. So that would have either could have been the ferry that goes from Port Townsend to over to Whidbey on that backside. That one is a small ferry. The one that used to go from Anyway, I'm always trying to figure out which ferry it would have been. Of course, although it's based in true events, doesn't mean that Gloria didn't take some liberties. But a real dog that did that figured out how to get there. Huh. Just great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, let's see how I did. Thank you, everyone. We're saying me too. I missed something. Am I the only one that jumped? Oh, with the applause. Yay! Okay. I had my output wrong, so I couldn't hear anything. Okay, you guys, that's funny. I'll scoot along here. Angie's dragons are very cool. Yay, Jack. Gloria in their cat. Oh, thanks, Julie. Yeah, the colors were fun to try to pick and choose which ones to do. I said I meant neurographic. Okay, that's what I tell you. I thought, man, I just mentioned encaustic, and Julie and Angie just jumped on it. I was thinking, pretty good there, girl. But here, let's see if I can make this a little smaller. There we go. Yes. Okay. Encaustic is coming. Very pretty. Thank you. I can't stay getting my sister ready to go to Hawaii tomorrow. I'm not doing it. Oh, I'm sorry. Helen, are you flying out of, is she flying out of Painfield or is she flying out of SeaTac? Let me know if you need any assistance. I'm closer to SeaTac than anything. Thank you. Hi, Brian. Hey, look at that. Who's here? Nice to have you here. That's awesome. I just watched your pour just before this. That was great fun to see. I was getting myself calmed down and settled into having everything ready. Plus, I was trying to eat dinner. Yeah, that's good. So, welcome, Brian. It's nice to have you here. That's great. And Brian's, everybody's checking in with that. So, has anybody ever out there on this for the boat building and that kind of, Bob, for a first part of his career for a long time, worked for a wholesale marine supply business and would fly to Taiwan where the boat builders were. But it ended up making him the favorite son-in-law for a while because my dad and boats were a thing. I mean, we had water ski boats up until I left for college, and then Dad got a bigger boat. He had boats to ski behind up until then, and then he decided he could ski behind somebody else's boat, and it was time to go cruising, and he got what boaters often called 2-foot-itis. Just a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. So when they talked about the shakedown cruises in here, that boat was going to have a shakedown cruise, we would go on a shakedown cruise every spring or the end of every spring when Dad would get the boat out or when we would come over to wherever the boat was and he would decide where we were going to go and whether it was down sound, down to Paulsbo, or down here actually in this area where I used to. It's funny, I lived down here and I had never traveled here by car until I moved down here, but I had been down here by boat as a kid. It's funny, or else we would go up sound and do kind of things for shakedown cruises. It was spring break and shakedown cruises with my dad. That's what we did. So, and the wooden boatyard and the boatyards when we would come over from Yakima to Seattle for going shopping. Usually, Mom wanted because there wasn't much in Yakima, and Mom would want to come over for fabric or to back to school shopping or whatever like that. I didn't. Plus, I was dangerous in the stores. Mom was always afraid I was going to break something. So I got to go off with Dad and go to the boatyards. And as he would walk the docks and look at the different boats, and we would see all the things. So that was always kind of fun for me to do. I've been around boats since I was little. And the very first boat that I remember that we had was one of those cool wooden Chris crafts. Have you ever seen the old ones? There, some places they call them lake boats. Ours wasn't a lake boat, but it was a beautiful wooden Chris craft boat. It was a 15-footer. It's what I learned to water ski behind. Yes. So anyway, that was that. And along with everything else we've had tonight, I mean, seriously, we had Nathan's amazing neurographics, and we had Jack's that he did a video to, and then we had Angie's got her Sume and the neurographic, and Gloria's cat that came up, and then I did mine, and then of course Rory came to say because we just needed the cuteness. But you guys have been just doing pretty. And then Nathan's story, along with the other ones. I'm gonna get those other ones emailed out to you guys. It's on my list. I swear it is on my list. I just get excited and I forget. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. So, yes. But I hope you enjoyed this story of the Northwest and our crazy kind of things that we go along here. And kind of like the, I'll mute this again so you can back in our. To find the things from the Northwest and to go back over Gloria and Ted Rand stuff and just to look them up. It's just, they were treasures in the Northwest, and the legacy that they left behind in the children's literature world is amazing. And but you guys are getting really good with some of your ideas, and that, the children's lit world is huge and has lots of potential. And Nathan, you got a step up going here, buddy. You've got stories to tell and things to do, and get going on those illustrations. Everybody, I think you guys all have some great stories you could tell. And it would be really awesome to one day on Story and Art to be reading one of your books. Yes, it would be awesome. So I just, again, want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I'm welcome. Brian's here for the first time. That's nice to have you. And Gail's made it tonight. And Donna made it. Yeah. So we're going to, and Gloria's, everybody's just having a good time here tonight. Anyway, so that was the story of Salty Dog. And Aldo was very pleased to have me read a story and also to be featured in the uh, um, the video. He thought it was kind of fun to be sticking his head out. Not really. he's a little he's a little irritated today with the wind. He doesn't like it to be quite so. Part Chihuahua in him is not real pleased when it's super super cold, and but that's okay. It's good anyway. So everybody, I really want to thank you for being here tonight. And as always, this just is deluxe. This is the best and so much fun. So if you have any more of things you're doing, send them in. I'm going to check my email. You guys are also making me better on checking my email because I have not always been the best on that. So send them to imagesbygretchen@icloud.com or through Messenger or whatever. But Angie sometimes sends me stuff through Instagram. But I'll keep looking, I'll find them, and then we'll sprinkle them in for a little bit of treats of our own work throughout and how you guys are sharing what we're doing. And yeah, see how that goes. So until the next time, everybody, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around. It's behind you, it's in front of you, it's to the side, and it's inside you. So, until next time, take care.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless.